Crazy week for clowns making absolute fools of themselves at sporting events in the stands.
Sometimes you need that reset. Oh.
And Bader just unloads on this one. Deep left field, and that one is gone as Bader.
We had the Polish millionaire CEO who stole the hat from that kid.
A Karen decided it was a good idea to steal a home run ball from a little boy.
And now, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the clip, we have this Karen at a Phillies game steal a baseball from a kid.
She thought she was grabbing a keepsake. Instead, she snatched the wrath of the entire internet. At Citizens Bank Park, during what should have been a harmless baseball moment, a Phillies fan didn't just scoop up a foul ball, she wrestled it out of a kid's hands. And rather than showing even a flicker of remorse, she erupted into screams, wild pointing, and smug celebration, turning herself into the internet's newest villain. Overnight, she wasn't just a fan in the stands. She became the face of entitlement, and her meltdown spread faster than the foul ball she fought for.
It's like she was made in a lab to be a Karen. She just epitomizes the meaning behind the
Baseball is supposed to be about pure joy, the sound of the bat cracking, the crowd roaring, and the thrill when a kid catches their very first ball. That magic moment unfolded perfectly at first. The ball bounced into the stands. A dad snagged it, and without hesitation, he placed it into his young son's hands. But before the boy could even savor it, chaos stormed in. A woman lunged, yelling that it was hers, clawing and shrieking as if she had some divine right to the prize. The dad, unwilling to cause a scene, eventually surrendered the ball. And you'd think that would have been the end of it. Instead, it became the beginning of one of the most talked about fan meltdowns of the year.
It's like she was made in a lab to be a Karen. She just epitomizes the meaning behind the
As she reached for my arm, she just yelled in my ear, "That's my ball!" Like super loud. I jumped out of my skin.
The crowd didn't rally behind her. They recoiled. Her screeches were compared to a horror movie jump scare. Others said she seemed like a cartoon villain, flailing and shrieking with theatrical exaggeration. Even the father's confused hand gestures went viral, replayed like a comedy sketch. But the laughter didn't erase the most heartbreaking image, the little boy's crushed expression. That single moment shifted the story from absurd to unforgivable. And then the story twisted. While she clutched the ball as if it were treasure, the Phillies themselves stepped in. According to fans in the park, the child didn't leave empty-handed. He walked away with something better.
Who lived in a shoe, and if you're a kid on your birthday, she'll steal a home run ball from you. And while many may believe this behavior is silly, it's actually quite common if you're a sports fan from Philly. The nasty old Karen wanted the baseball so bad, she ran through the whole stadium and berated the dad. And the dad gave up the ball to the dismay of his boy. The Karen did what Karens do. She stole all the joy. Both teams and their fans saw her wreck all the fun. Everyone who witnessed it knew what must be done. The Marlins sent a gift bag, and a short while later, the boy and his family met Harrison Bader. The nasty old Karen was booed out of the game, and now the whole world will soon know her name. From her hair to her glasses to her life that is so barren, the moral of the story is don't Be a Karen.
A signed bat from the team. Message was unmistakable. They recognized the real victim. Online, people joked that the ball she snatched was cursed, forever marked with humiliation. Karma, it seemed, had already delivered its verdict. Soon, more footage poured onto TikTok and Twitter. Multiple angles surfaced, scrutinized like forensic evidence. Slow-motion replays revealed the brutal truth. She never actually secured the ball at all. At best, she grazed it.
But from where the guy in the red shirt gets it, it seems too far away for them to have reached it. So I think what happened is they might have tried to get it, and they might have even, touched it, but it doesn't look like they ever actually grabbed it. It looks more like they were trying to recover a fumble in football and it got away from them.
Wow. This is pathetic.
At worst, she imagined the whole struggle. Her claim that the father had stolen it from her collapsed in real time, and that revelation supercharged the backlash. The internet doesn't just hate entitlement, it despises lies. The clip spread everywhere, from blogs and meme pages to mainstream news outlets. What began as a squabble over a ball exploded into a cultural firestorm. The question wasn't just who had the right to it, but what does this say about sports fans today? In one night, she went from anonymous spectator to meme fodder, dissected and ridiculed across platforms.
Oh! She took it from a little kid, bro. Oh!
TikTok parodies spliced her meltdown into horror edits. Reddit threads dissected every shriek, every excuse, every dramatic gesture. Nobody saw an innocent mix-up. They saw a tantrum so dramatic it could have been scripted, and the comments cut deep. One viewer said she looked like a dementor draining the joy from a child. Another compared her shrill voice to a never-ending fire alarm. Fans remixed her outbursts into horror trailers, turning her into a jump scare with every shriek. Even die-hard Philly supporters, famous for defending outrageous behavior, turned against her. The consensus was unanimous. She hadn't just embarrassed herself, she had embarrassed the city. Making it worse, the timing couldn't have been more brutal. Just days earlier, the internet had erupted over a Polish CEO ripping a hat off a child at the US Open. That was already being called the lowest fan moment of the year. Then, barely a week later, Philadelphia served up its viral fiasco. Side-by-side comparisons flooded timelines. First a CEO steals a hat, now a fan steals a ball. What's next? Someone swiping cotton candy from a toddler? One writer quipped. YouTubers stitched both meltdowns into compilations, racking up millions of views. And through it all, the woman tried to defend herself. Shaky cell phone footage caught her yelling that the father had ripped it out of her hands. She repeated the claim endlessly, pointing and shrieking like the crowd would suddenly rally to her side. But the internet runs on receipts, not excuses. Every new angle proved her wrong. Stadium staff even confirmed the father had picked it up cleanly and handed it straight to his son. Her story didn't just crumble, it collapsed into dust. Meanwhile, the boy's disappointed face became the emotional centerpiece of the story. Still images of his crushed expression went viral, often paired with her smug grin. The symbolism was brutal. Innocence robbed by entitlement. That's a line you don't cross, and once you do, the public rarely forgives. Behind the scenes, insiders revealed that the Phillies' decision to gift the boy a signed bat wasn't just generosity. It was smart damage control. Because in today's viral age, one fan meltdown can be a full-blown PR crisis in minutes. And her tantrum didn't stop with the ball. Eyewitnesses said she prowled the section like a storm cloud, shrieking for nearly 10 minutes. She barked at strangers, stomped her feet, and even lunged toward a fan who laughed at her. Some in the crowd chanted, "Give it back," while others mocked her so loudly it drowned out her shrieks. One viral clip shows her screaming in someone's face while the cameraman laughs hysterically, egging her on. At that point, it wasn't even about baseball anymore. The ballpark transformed into a stage, and she was the villain of a live performance. Every screech, every exaggerated gesture was amplified by a stadium full of people united in mockery. And here's the kicker. This is Philadelphia we're talking about, a city famous for booing Santa Claus and throwing batteries at players. If even this crowd couldn't defend her, that says it all. She wasn't seen as tough or even unlucky. She was seen as a clown. By the weekend, national outlets had picked it up. ESPN debated whether she should be banned. Meme accounts crowned her the main character of the week, a title no one ever wants. Late-night hosts joined the pile-on. Jimmy Kimmel even cracked. First, a CEO steals a hat. Now a fan steals a ball. What's next? The Pope stealing cotton candy. The audience erupted, sealing her fate as internet infamy. At that point, she wasn't just a Phillies fan. She had become an archetype, the Karen who stole from a child. Once the internet casts you as a cultural symbol, there's no undoing it. Her anonymity vanished. Local reporters revealed her name. Her face became meme. She'll never sit in a stadium again without wondering who's whispering, "Isn't that her?" And in many ways, that humiliation might sting more than any punishment. For the Phillies, the lesson was clear. Protect the kids, protect the brand. In today's sports world, fan scandals outlast the games themselves. The team ensured the boy walked away with more than just a bat. He walked away with the city's sympathy, while she walked away with shame. But beyond one foul ball, the story struck a cultural nerve. 2 meltdowns in 1 week, one at the US Open, one in Philadelphia, painted a bigger picture. Adults hijacking magical moments meant for children. And that's why the backlash felt so universal. Whether in Poland or Philly, the betrayal looked the same. She thought she'd won a ball. In reality, she lost something far greater: her dignity, her anonymity, and the respect of millions of strangers. In 2025, from one tantrum, one viral clip, and she went from faceless fan to global villain. That's the new reality of sports culture. Every moment is on camera. Every excuse can be shredded, and every act of entitlement can turn you into the internet's next punching bag. And if this much chaos can erupt from one foul ball, just imagine what the next viral scandal will look like. Stick around, because the next meltdown might already be loading in your feed.